What's up, guys? Josh here, 6 Up Gaming. Taking a look today at the Wanderers. Taking a look at some Glade Guard. We'll see what we got going on. We got some Glade Guard going on here today. That'll be our first unit in subject. Got some painted right in front of you. Let's take a look at some of their stats, see what it's got going on. We got a big series for you guys, just start on some of these videos. So feel free to let me know what you guys think. Alright, let's get into it. Got some Glade Guard right here. Got the trumpeter, a couple guys, the captain, and the flag bearer. We'll take a look at some of their stats. You can check that out on the screen. Basically what we're looking at here is a pretty solid infantry ranged unit. I'll show you pick of the backs here. Mostly I do this hobby wise, but I also like to get into the gameplay. I think definitely an underrepresented faction here, Age of Sigmar. We'll take a look at what they're good at and some of their strengths and some of their weaknesses. Let's see, Glade Guard. Sorry for the glare there. This is the box they come in. Comes with 16 miniatures. I made them in 3 squads of 10, so I got 2 boxes. There's a couple options in terms of the flag, the standard that you can do. So there are a couple of different parts. Each box has about 8, I would say. Has 8 different sprues right there, and it has the build guide. So there's definitely a lot of options to be had there. Interesting thing to note about these Glade Guard units, they are 1 wound each, and they are 120 points apiece for the unit in groups of 10. So you're paying 120 points for 10 wounds. Have some of their stats here. 6-inch move, it's pretty good. 6+ save, definitely not the greatest. Funny it's 6 up because that's the channel, but 6 up on some ranged units. If they take any range fire, suffer any wounds, it's definitely not good. So it would be nice to see them have a higher save, but I suppose they are fragile units, as they are Wanderers Elves. 6 bravery, like I said, 1 wound. 6 bravery is pretty low, but you do get to add 1 bravery due to the standard, and if you're in cover, say in there, or if you determine this is cover there, you do get to add 2, so you have potential of usually having a 7 or 8 save. The Lord's Bowman right here does get a bonus. Gets a bonus 1 attack. So they each do have 1 attack with their longbow. So a full squad of 10, you'll be looking at 11 attacks. They're each armed with the glaive blade. Here's one example I did of one of the blades. The blades have 1-inch range. Once again, 1 attack each. 5s to hit, 5s to wound, no rend. Definitely not the greatest. Probably won't be getting a lot out of them in combat, but as they are Wanderers, you also do have the ability to disengage. You can retreat and fire the same turn, so that's very good. So hopefully you won't be using those blades too much. The Hornblower allows you to reroll a die when you're running. Not often that useful, but if you need to get out of town or if you're trying to advance up the board, they don't get any bonuses for not moving, so feel free to move them and shoot them. Peerless Archery, if there are 20 or more models and there are no enemy models within 3 inches, then you can add 1 to all hit rolls. Basically, it comes down to the fact if you're willing to run them in groups of 20 or 30, they are run as battle line for Wanderers, or you can run them battle line order. I definitely recommend I run 10 just for the fact that you can split them up, vary your targets on the board, so you won't be hosed by an endless spell, suffer all sorts of mortal wounds, and then lose a ton of guys in case if one unit does get caught. But you also don't get that bonus. What makes them super good, and one reason why they're pretty good at doing some Alpha Strike damage, especially on Lords and whatnot, with the 20-inch range on the longbow, which is also force to hit, force to wound, 1 damage. Also not the greatest, but if you're usually next to the Lord and you're using your command traits, you'll be able to reroll 1s, so you would definitely expect maybe half or so hits. Once per game, they do get an ability called Arcane Bodkins. Usually it's 0 rend, so this changes their whole attack to rend -3, and this is extremely good if you're dealing with units that have 3+, 4+ saves. Giving no saves is extremely good if you're trying to Alpha Strike a unit down, a caster, maybe a 4 or 5 wound model. It's very good. So that's basically our first intro. Glade Guard. So definitely let me know what you guys think. If there's any, I'm going to be covering every unit for the Wanderers, as it's one of my favorite armies. Definitely interesting to look at. So if you guys like this stuff, feel free to subscribe. Feel free to comment. It's always good to get a discussion going in terms of what's good or not for the Wanderers. So we definitely want to hear from you, kind of see what's going on. Once again, Josh with 6up Gaming. We'll hopefully get a new video out later this week or next week, going over some more Wanderer stuff. Definitely excited. I just finished painting this guy, so I'm very happy with how the Lord turned out. I got some Sisters of the Watch that need to be completed. Some more Glade Guard. Got the Meta Wizard and a bunch of other that stuff. So we got a lot going on. So you guys stay tuned. Hopefully find out about different units and help you enjoy your hobby a little bit more, like it does help me. Thanks so much. You guys have a good day, and we'll see you next time.